Welcome back to Finnegan's Farm, welcome back to our YouTube channel, and welcome back to our Workshop Wednesday. My name is Paul, and this is our team.
Hi, I'm Sean Keogh, and I'm the apprentice mechanic.
Hi, I'm Mick, and I'm the mechanic.
Hello, I'm Marco, I love to weld. This is Bruce, this is Blake, them is two best students.
Well, what's the story? I'm Kaylem Russell, the apprentice mechanic.
Hello, I'm Carl, and I'm the one that has to make these guys look good.
Don't forget to like, subscribe to the videos and comment what you want. Just put it in the comments list and we'll get back to it. So, in for repair today we have a John Deere 6920. We also have a John Deere 3350 issue with the starter on it there. We have our 1360 John Deere mower, and we also have the irrigation, the engine there off the Scova irrigation pump as well, just to service. So first of all, we're going to head over to Kaylem Russell there, who's doing a big job there on the 6920. So we have our John Deere 6920S. This is John B, the famous tractor.
Yeah. So probably the tractor gets the most hardship out of the moment.
This is the one, this is the tractor that John B does drive all the time, and it is the best tractor. But unfortunately, as we see here, we have a little bit of oil on the rim.
Yeah,
so,
on both sides.
On both sides, yeah.
And it's fairly bad. Now we were able to compensate to get them to the springtime by adding a bit of grease into the hubs.
Yeah.
Keep some bit of oil in it. But if you put the proper oil in it now, it'll just run out of it.
So the repair on this is wheel off.
Yeah, so we'll have our two wheel bearings inside. Now this is the brakes inside the front hubs, which I'm yet to see, but I'm interested to have a look. I never got
first
to see
time, first time.
Yeah, the first time for them. But no, I've done them on 6, 8, 20 and 10 or whatever, so it's straightforward enough. But two tapered roller bearings and our seals on both sides, and that should be it. Because generally the seal will go because the bearings.
Yeah. So if the bearings are starting to give a little bit of play on them, it'll destroy the seals. Okay, so we're going to whip the two wheels off, and we'll strip them down. So we'll see what we need then. Any other issues with it?
Yeah, so I think our hose joints will be gone for TLS on the front, because if you're using your power shuttle, you can feel a knock in it. Yeah. But when we have it all jacked up, then it's the time to have a look at that.
But no, it does an awful amount of work, doesn't it? Does most of the work here on the farm.
All of it nearly. No one else gets to drive the cycle other than John. He's the busiest man in the place. So.
We see we have on the back axle then, on the right hand, just a bit dark there, you mightn't see it, but
we're starting to
see a little bit of a dampness there on the right hand. So like, we need to check our bearing there anyway, don't we? Yeah, because it might only be leaking a small bit, but our bearing could be well on its way out. And we done the one on the left hand side only 2 years ago. It was one of the first jobs I done with making a start. Yeah. And a few oil leaks on it as well. I think one was definitely from the orbital unit. Yeah, and then we have a few here. So look, it's just a bit of a mess there at the minute. We said we bring it in first, have a look, bring it out, give it a good wash. Yeah. Get the wheels off and strip her down and have a look at then, because if we don't do it now, we'll be give it out. Yeah, I know. After that now, I have to say, for a tractor with, I don't know, many thousand hours in that. 15,500 hours in that tractor. It's the Auto Power one. It's still a great tractor for, you know, for de-stoning, and we'll probably have it now for, it'll run there with the irrigators there for the reels and that. So, you know, there's still loads of life left in these tractors, even at 15,000 hours. If you keep the little bit of maintenance coming through in them, you know, they're only small jobs when they come into the workshop. They're no major jobs to have to go through. So that is the secret to it, you know. Preventative maintenance. Exactly. So the last time I was talking to Kaylem, he had the wheel on, or he's taking the wheel off. Now he's a load of bits here. Anyway, he would have, in the time lapse there on the video, you'll see there where he kind of took it all asunder there. Explain really what you've done through the time lapse there, maybe. Well, there's only about half an hour's worth of work. Just take our wheel off, take our hat off with our planetary gears, take our angelus off. And so this would have been the first time you would have taken one off with front hydraulic brakes? Yeah, I never got to see them before. And will you explain maybe just to the people there that mightn't have front hydraulics what way it works? Or? Well, the only difference is the angelus is able to hold our brake discs and our plates, and the only addition that you can see externally is the actual brake line. There's obviously a drilling in the casing down here somewhere. There's two ports. Well, I presume there's one
from the pipe, and the second part is back up to our bleeder. And all that's in is on the back of the Angelus then, which holds everything. It's able to push out our plates. And
they seem to be in good condition, don't they?
Oh yeah, they're in very good order. Nothing wrong with them.
So any tractor, any of the John Deere tractors that have the 50k on them, they would have hydraulic front brakes automatically, wouldn't they?
In general, but you can get the 40k tractors with front brakes.
Oh, can you? Oh, right,
so it's not just exclusive.
Right, okay. That's coming from a fast track man here, you know?
Well, yeah. Look, maybe the Stormman now, but
you won't be used to 40k anyway.
40k is a bit, 50k is too slow, never mind 40.
Yeah, so we're going to get new burdens, new seals.
Yeah, get the whole lot. It was only our seals really that were gone on us. So
well, John B would have been easy enough on the brakes there anyway. It's obvious, isn't it? Like he wouldn't be going fast. He wouldn't be going fast. He wouldn't be going fast.
Doesn't even need to touch. And if you look at the brake pad, it's still dirty.
A 30k tractor would probably do him, wouldn't he?
He'd be as well off. So he wouldn't get past it anyways.
So while we're waiting for parts, Kaylem and Russ is going to get loads of time before all together. So it won't be in this week's video, but next week's video there, hopefully you'll have it all back together, will you?
Yeah, once you get our bits, we'll be happy out.
So we're here with Pat and Paul from BK Forklifts, and we're here to inspect the chains on all the forklifts there on the mast, because over time they will get worn, so it's probably a good time now to check them out. And I suppose you have
chain wear gauge.
The chain wear, and the idea of that then is what? Just to
you measure, depending on the chain itself, what type of chain it is, you go between the things. This is an inch pitch chain, so it shows inch pitch over. It says here pitch inch, measure over 16 pins. So we'll go on here and measure over the 16 pins, and it's coming up on the finding window as over 2%. 2%'s warning and 3%'s danger. Must have scared right away, but it's full of the red window means the chain has to be replaced.
Okay, so it's showed over 16 and the good one.
The new one over 16.
Obviously that the chain needs to be replaced, because when you look at a new one here, if that had gone 2%, what would you do? Yeah.
It's just
now,
clear.
you can visibly see the play in the chain, and I can see it here. Is that because generally when you move a chain in and out like that, and you'll see a little bit of wear, and that's just on one link. So you can imagine over the chain. Now, what would happen eventually, Pat? So I know it's just a warning there at the minute, but if it went into,
so it would snap a pin, and the chain will come down.
Yeah. So
well, it's the two of them mightn't snap at the same time, but you'll notice the chain flapping about and snapped in one, so it's time to stop and pack up. So when you're servicing the truck, when they get to a certain age, you just check every service.
Yeah, so there would be a lot of forklifts, we'll say, on farms there, and look at, to be only used now and again, and lads would say they'd start and stop them. But the importance of having a good chain on the mast and all the pipes as well, the hydraulic pipes in good condition is the most, because it's probably one of the most critical areas.
Critical area for lifting and
letting it down anyway. So we'll get the new chain on the forklift, and we'll get back on the road.
Back on the road again.
Well, thank you, Pat.
So just putting the dust cap back in here for a temporary job to keep this right for you.
Yes, we did an eye leak here. The dust seal was up here.
The dust seal popped up out of the cap, you see.
Yeah.
So we put it in, then we put a wee dot each side just to spread the.
Yeah, and hopefully
that should hold it in.
Yeah.
To keep the dust out of it.
Now we may have to replace the seals in the ram at some stage.
At some stage, yeah, because it is leaking a certain amount of oil past, but not that bad at the minute.
Yeah.
So it's up to yourselves, but
so we're just doing a job in it here, because it just needs the forklift. Then we get back.
Keep the dust and
we're
stuff.
also doing chains there on the forklift. We've replaced mostly new chains on all the forklifts there, and we go over here to Paul. Pat will explain there a little bit more about it.
So
I suppose really
this is a replacement new chain to go on.
Yeah.
The two anchors had to be popped out because they were riveted in.
After the latch. Swinging there, like.
Yeah. Another good thing about a forklift is the weight balance, is that we can actually have a little bit of a good for a dinner table, or the boys are here are having a quick quick 10 o'clock break, isn't it?
All the produce came from the farm.
Yeah. So yeah, they're having the tea down that stuff. That has to be done as well. But the most important thing about forklifts, and all joking aside, is to just to keep a maintenance check on your forklifts, especially the chains here. The boys of BK Forklifts just give a great help service there. They can come up, they can check the chains, they can go through the forklift. You know, if you need to start there for your insurance, whatever it is, they can provide that as well. So just look after your forklifts, that's all. John Deere 1360 mower in. This mower probably doesn't do a whole lot there the last number of years. We took her out there this year to do a little bit of topping there on the paddocks there, as they kind of had gone strong. Now we also have a topper as well, but we just wanted something with a cleaner cut. But we picked it up the other day, and again, little problem, hadn't we, Marco?
Oh yeah, stand was bent, pin was gone, there's no latch, and here making a new one.
Yeah, so we probably reckon it had been moved around the shed a few times, had picked it up, dropped it, not put the stand down properly. One of the lugs was broke off here,
yeah, completely,
and there was a pin in here, and this pin then actually broke the other lug,
yep.
And they let it down. So originally it would have been a spring-loaded pin that was in it when it came out, when it was new, but that's not today or yesterday, so no point talking about that now. So we're going to pull it back to its original. We found a spring inside.
Yeah,
that will do it. We'll make 2 clevises on it there, weld it up, and hopefully that should be it.
Oh yeah, then that's it.
Are you going to leave the vice grip on it, Marco?
Yeah, be easier, you know. Can take it out then.
Yeah, so you put a pin on it, a bit of bar on it there.
Pin pull out.
And then should be good to go.
Ready to go then.
Ready to go. Yeah.
Take off your gloves and then just maybe get grind a little bit sharp edges, you know.
Yeah, tidy up.
Yeah.
We also have a Scova water pump in here for a service. We have to service the engine on it. It's an FPT engine. Mick, just explain a little bit about FPTs and Echo and Case and how they're all tied in.
As I understand it, FPT, Field Powertrain, I think is what it means. It's owned by Iveco, but they're a massive company. They own Case, New Holland, and there's a lot more that I can't even think of. Man, I'm not sure.
So we went to a service in this one. The engine had been obviously sprayed up when it was new or when it was put in place. And as you can see here,
a job getting the numbers.
We might get a job to get a number off it, but we might just scrape that off it there, just see can we get a number for the oil filter on it. But
might get the fuel.
Should be the fuel. Yeah, look, it doesn't look too bad.
No, we have it there, but that's a fairly standard looking filter.
Yeah.
On Toyotas and that, I'd say it's the same filter.
So we go up to that. There's not much servicing on them, just to service the engine, air filter. We also do in here. This is the water pump there. Mick, just explain that. What's in there?
It's a packing gland. It's almost like fire card, you know, around a boiler or a burner. I don't know if it's the same stuff, but to get that out is an absolute dog.
Right.
It's in about that depth in
there. And that's just your seal from your water?
Yeah, it's to stop the water coming out through on the engine side. But strangely enough, I don't see a hole in that bell housing for the water to run off when it does leak. But
yeah, well,
maybe there is.
There's a drain down there somewhere. So yeah, we just have to do them few jobs. It's that time of year again when the irrigation is going to start up, and we just need to get this over to the field there and have it in place. Now, it all depends on the weather, whether we use or not. We'll have to.
I think yesterday you won't.
We'll have to see there with the showers as well.
Lovely, nice, simple engine.
Yeah, and again with the container around the silencer on it there, you wouldn't hear it running there. So it's a lovely engine there. But just to get it serviced up, so we have peace of mind and get it done right.
I'll move on to the next one.
So we started off the 3350. Wouldn't start in the morning. Took the starter off. Brought it into Navan Auto Electrical there. We had a small suspicion that it might be in the solenoid because it was a little bit rusty around that, and what can happen sometimes with washing the machines, if the seal is not good from the solenoid here, the water gets in across here and then causes this to malfunction, which actually that's a new one that's on it, and we have he did look through the starter and recondition that on it.
Slap it in, sits in there lovely. Get it started on the nut here on the top first, which is not a very easy job to do. Right, there's the first time now we've dropped it, so now we have to find the bloody... Oh, it's here. There we go.
Take two.
Take two, take two. Try and just get a start.
You hold it there and I'll use my right hand. Oh. Oh.
There we go. That's the experience.
Oh, so the camera actually shows how tricky that was.
It's like I'm only using the tip of my finger to get it started, so you know. Now this is the not so nice one. Now I have well, not,
where's that underneath?
Yeah, this is the one underneath. Now, this tool here, my father made for doing these starters because it's up in round the starter. So when I get this in, it's just out here. It's perfect. You can make that yourself fairly handy, but just getting the bolt started now is with these sort of things. Now, you just close your eyes and imagine.
It's like feeling the calf.
Yeah.
See where the feet are.
Right, I have the feet. Then a bit lower.
You need special hands for that job, do you, Kaylem?
Oh, you do. This is where the experience comes in.
It's experience, yeah.
I don't just have 35 years at it, but
surgeon's hands in there.
That's why big hands aren't always a great thing.
No.
No, you need a good balance.
Do you have to pull them faces?
Well, it just helps that. You know, imagine I put the tongue out now and I wouldn't. I'm starting. That's the hard part. And I end with the special tool. And this is all just feel. I can't see it. Just finishing taking it up.
Problem is getting these starters on and off. We're not too bad. If you had a loader on that, Kaylem, we'd be in bigger problems, wouldn't we?
Definitely.
A lot of the John Deere tractors, 36s or maybe 3050s and 2850s had loaders on them, and they can be an awful job. So here it's not too bad, but you do need special equipment. Now we're not sure what part number that is because it looks to have been a bit of a
homemade thing, always.
Homemade job.
But well, I don't know, because all this bending here looks fairly well
there's
done.
several ways of doing that. You can get an ordinary socket and weld another piece on it.
I made that last year with 3650s.
Yeah, and then you can actually get the ratchet there.
But then you have your ratchet down in here.
That's true.
You can hardly get a swing. Whereas with this, she comes right up here, which is, you couldn't get any better access than that. And I forgot that's a 1/2 inch drive and I'm after buying a 3/8 ratchet, but however.
So we have the little bendy spanners, all the little tools.
Just need
to do the job.
When it comes to starters anyway, you can't have enough spanners.
So this is for the key, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the signal down. So on this,
alright, explain that now.
We have there's 2 batches in this machine, so we have a lead from the far side and a lead from this side.
Yep.
Onto, I suppose, the open side of our solenoid. And then when we turn the key, send the signal down here to our solenoid and then it's bridging across. So that's how it's activating the starter solenoid.
So it's this little one here?
Yeah, so the signal wires in here. If I just get my screwdriver. Pull back that way. The washer.
Push back that bit, isn't it?
Yeah, you might put a push back at that. Yeah, there you go. Nice, so that's our signal wire on. Spanner for this. Let's see.
Always make sure that the batteries are disconnected.
Oh geez, yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise we'd have sparks and everything.
Because if you hit that half, that to be a spark. So we have earth straps off there on the battery.
Yeah, you'd always take off the outside rather than the live side. So now I can push these 2 on. I never thought to bring a bloody spanner for that, but yeah. I'll do that. You need a 13 spanner and a half-inch adapter, and then we can. It'll still be able to start, but just not.
Yeah, I hold it for you.
13 spanner. Make sure we get this tight now.
Always check the old terminals too when you have them off there.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get a bit of corrosion around them there, and sometimes it's no hard to change the bolts out as well, because the square on the head might go in, and then
usually a nice coating of copper grease.
Copper grease in there, yeah.
Or any sort of grease, to be honest. You could put on. And I'd always been in the habit working on batteries. Only have a bit of a spanner here, but they'd always take off. Jewellery, working on electrics and that.
Okay, ready to hit the button?
Yeah.
Okay. So just going to try starting here now.
Yeah. Oh. So we can see smoke leaving here. Generally you get heat from a bad connection. So my yacht shop here has a bad connection, so I'm going to take it off, clean it down with sandpaper, and we get a lot better of a swing then. I need 14 because a 15mm slips on an 816.
A quick turn here.
Nope.
So it's not going to start, so we just need to give it a
That's why
little
these are a gift of the thing too. You'd nearly start a tractor without a battery at all with one of these.
So we just connect the black lead to the negative there, and the red one to the positive side on the battery.
Generally they always put the negative on last, but it doesn't matter with these because you actually have to turn it on. So, not on then.
Alright.
Lovely job, first step of the key. That's what you do, a brilliant machine. You can see how low the battery was before we even got a moment. Now it's putting it on just as that.
So we've started on the tractor there, did the start first tip, had to use the greaser there, the tractor had been laying up. Now, it's not always ideal to have a tractor here sitting out in the yard because we have to bring all the tools to it. So the fact that we were kind of stuck for space in the workshop, we decided to do it here. It's not a big job to get the starter on and off. But as you can imagine, you'd have to bring all the different spanners with you there. So, you know, it could be taking 2 or 3 trips in and out, which is not quite ideal. But we decided we just do it here and show you what goes on there if you're probably doing it outside in your own place or outside the yard. So that's really it now. So that's it for this week's Workshop Wednesday. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the videos there. You will get a notification and it is free. And if you have any comments there, just put them in the comments list below. So that's it from everyone here at Finnegan's Farm. We'll see you all next Wednesday.